Hear more about the Mariposa Village housing project that's going up on Rand Road. Waiting list will open in about 6 weeks.
Just wanted to provide a brief overview of our existing project. Mariposa Village is a 130 unit affordable multifamily rental housing development here in Hood River. This project is focused entirely on rental housing for working families and does not include home ownership units. The site includes a mix of studios through three-bedroom homes, including both townhomes and apartments. It also includes a community center with resident services, a public park and playground, walking trails, bicycle parking, and connections to the surrounding trail system. The intent of the property is to create a long-term community asset, not just housing, with space for services, recreation, and connection built into the design. Construction of the property began in April and follows a roughly 20 and a half month schedule under federal Davis-Bacon prevailing wage requirements. Phase one includes buildings one, two, and three and the community center and is scheduled to be completed in late summer of this year. Phase two includes buildings four, five, and six and is expected to complete in the early months of January or February of 2027. With the park and trail improvements completed alongside of that phase. This phased approach allows us to bring housing online sooner while managing costs, workforce availability, and site logistics. Rents at Mariposa Village are based on income limits, not on a tenant's actual earnings in a given year. Maximum rents are capped at 30% of area median income for an assumed household size. 39 units will have project-based vouchers, meaning residents pay 30% of their actual income towards rent and utilities. Housing choice vouchers will also be accepted in non-PPV units. These homes serve people already in the community, including construction workers, dental assistants, teacher aides, carriers, etc.
I want to note that these rent amounts are based on the income limits, and HUD changes the income limits every April. And so those numbers will likely change before people are moving in, but these are the current numbers that we have for the rents and the incomes. And I mentioned earlier that we have a hard time getting people to be able to use their vouchers in the city of Hood River, just because there aren't a lot of affordable homes. And so we're really excited that Mariposa Village will also offer a chance for people to use their vouchers where they want to live or where they grew up.
There's often a critique that affordable housing is not affordable to build, and that isn't intentional on our end. We try to bring the cost down as much as we can while also operating as an organization and ensuring that the project succeeds financially for its entire term. Other factors that contribute to the expensive cost of a project include that our affordable housing has a lot longer timelines, unlike market rate development projects often spend years applying for a competitive state and federal funding before construction can begin. During that time, construction and material costs can continue to rise while rent remains fixed by affordability requirements. Multifamily has significantly a lot more due diligence of requirements than single family housing, including the fact that our buildings are often a lot larger and have larger site footprints that trigger more extensive environmental review, ge- uh, geotechnical work, stormwater and utility analysis, traffic and access planning, and fire and life safety conditions. Affordable housing is also frequently limited to more challenging sites due to land availability, zoning constraints, slope, wetlands, and infrastructure limitations that results in higher site preparation cost and additional engineering before construction can even begin. These projects are also held to a higher a building and energy standard. At this project, we are building to Energy Star multifamily new construction standards, which exceed base building code. These standards improve long-term efficiency, durability, and comfort for residents, but they also increase the upfront cost. So in short, there's a lot of things that are added onto our affordable projects based off of the grants that we apply to. So it isn't as if we can just go to a bank and get a loan on it, because then if that were the case, we would have to charge higher rents, and that's essentially where you're at within the existing market. Addressing the funding challenge. To make projects work, we focus on 4 strategies: reducing development costs, lowering financing costs, lowering long-term operating costs, and filling the remaining funding capital. The gap is filled through a mix of state, federal, and local resources, including tax credits, housing trust funds, bonds, grants, and rent subsidies.
After the presentation, city councilors had a chance to ask a few questions.
But I'm curious if it's been opened up to potential residents, or if you guys have a wait list, or what's the status of for prospective Mariposa Village residents?
Sure, it's still that interest email that is run by community development partners. But to answer your question, the waiting list, the official waiting list for tenants should open within the next 6 weeks. Then we'll put out a public notice, and the email will go out to that interest list email. We're going to be putting out a lot of information about when that date will be opening. And then we also have the project-based voucher waiting list will also open on the same day, just to make it easier. So if people are applying for a unit, they can also, if they are income qualified, apply for one of the 39 project-based vouchers, which means that the household will pay based on their income, instead of paying just the rate that's affordable to the 60% household.
This is probably a question for staff, but can we help get the word out in 6 weeks? When is that something we can repost, et cetera?
Yes, thank you. We'll coordinate with the Housing Authority and CDP on that.